evening, actually. Welcome to the Martin Luther King Library. I am so pleased to have you here. My name is Neva Cosby, and I am the branch manager here at the Martin Luther King Library. When Miss Gwen first came to me, Miss Gwen over there, she's the president of our Friends of the Library. She came back and she said, I went to church and I saw this wonderful program done by the children. And you just have to have it over here for Black History Month. And I said, sure, I would love to partner with you as a church. So, I am so glad that we decided to do this partnership. We are so looking forward to having you here. And so, we'd like to welcome you here. And let's get the show on the road. Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I am Oprah Winfrey and I would like to welcome you to the studios. We have a very, as we celebrate Black History Month, today on my show we have a very special panel of guests, leaders in Black history, which we will discuss their lives and accomplishments throughout the years. Here to help me today, a novelist, a folklorist, and anthropologist. She is considered one of the greatest writers of the 20th century African-American literature. Please welcome Nora Zillhurst to the show. You're welcome. I'm glad you can make it. Have a seat. How are you today? Good. Good. To start off the show, this young man, an African-American scientist, educator, humanitarian, and former slave, he developed hundreds of products from sweet potatoes, pecans, and soybeans. His discoveries greatly improved the agricultural output and the health of Southern farmers. His greatest development was from a peanut. Let's welcome George Washington Carver.
Mom, take please. Remember, Mom? I have the body. You gotta go right there.
Next, this man was the first African American to receive a PhD from Harvard University, co-founder of NAACP. And he is not here today, so we're just acknowledging W.E.B. Du Bois.
Let's give him a hand in his absence.
Next, he was the national leader of the civil rights movement, leading boycotts and staged protests against the segregations in the South. Martin Luther King Jr. And his wife is absent today too. Miss Coretta Scott King. Let's welcome Martin Luther King to the show.
Ford Motor Company was founded in 1903, and with its American consumers began to discover the adventures of the open road. In the early years of the 20th century, it was not uncommon for bicycles, animal-powered wagons, and new gasoline-powered motor vehicles to share the same streets and roadways with pedestrians. Accidents were frequent. After witnessing a collision between an automobile and a horse-drawn carriage, Garrett Morgan took his turn at inventing a traffic signal in 1923. Indeed, it was Morgan's experience while driving along the streets of Cleveland that inspired him to invent an improvement to traffic signals. In his absence, let's honor Garrett Morgan for the design of the traffic signal. Let's pray for cars, wagons, and horses.
Next, we have the first African-American woman in space. Come on out, Mae Jemison, a former NASA astronaut.
3, 2, 1, blast off!
She developed her life to fighting slavery, helping slaves and ex-slaves, and championing the rights of women. She was an incredibly brave woman, conductor for the Underground Railroad, who helped slaves free to freedom. During a 10-year span, she made 19 trips into the South and escorted over 300 slaves to freedom. And as she once proudly pointed out to Frederick Douglass, in all of her journeys, she never lost a single passenger. Let's welcome the Moses of her people, Harriet Tubman.
Coming up next, we have a live performance by Miss Ella Fitzgerald. She was dubbed the First Lady of Song and was the most popular female jazz singer in the United States for more than half a century. In her lifetime, she won 13 Grammy Awards and sold over 40 million albums. This lady can turn any song into a jazz song. And here she is today to perform live for you. Put your hands together and welcome the First Lady of Song, Miss Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, McDonald's at the phone. Yeah, yeah, oh.
Beautiful selection.
Coming up next, she was the first black female pilot and the first woman to receive an international pilot license. Just flying in, please welcome Bessie Coleman.
When she said she was just flying in, she literally meant just flying in. Members of the U.S. 10th Cavalry Regiment of the United States Army formed on September 21st, 1866. The black soldiers were given the name Wild Buffalo by the Plain Indians, which was translated to Buffalo Soldier. Although several African American regiments were raised during the Civil War to fight alongside the Union Army, the Buffalo Soldiers were established by Congress as the first peacetime all-black regiments in the regular U.S. Army. Nearly 16 months after the end of the Civil War, Section 3 of an Act of Congress entitled An Act to Increase and Fix the Military Peace Establishment of the United States authorized the formation of 2 regiments of cavalry composed of colored men. In 1944, the end came to the horse cavalry regiments and the curtain was lowered on the long and glorious past of the Buffalo Soldiers. But a few of the soldiers still remain and they are marching today. Let's welcome the Buffalo Soldiers.
She was the first African-American woman elected to the U.S. Congress. During her long public career, she fought for the rights of women and minorities. Please welcome Shirley Chisholm.
Right after this commercial break, we'll be back with more, right after a word from our sponsors.
Go to www.genesis.com. I repeat, www.genesis.com.
And we're back.
Most historians date the beginning of the modern civil rights movement in the United States to December the 1st, 1955. That was the day when an unknown seamstress in Montgomery, Alabama refused to give up her seat on the bus.
We have a policeman in our studio.
Go to the back of the bus, woman. No. It's a show. Go to the back of the bus, woman. No, my feet hurt, my legs hurt, I don't want to get up.
This brave woman, Rosa Parks, was arrested and fined for violating a city ordinance. But her lonely act of defiance began a movement that ended legal segregation in America and made her an inspiration to freedom-loving people everywhere. None other than the mother of the civil rights movement, Miss Rosa Parks, who would not give up her seat on the bus. There are so many other African Americans who have helped pave the way, and unfortunately, we cannot capture them all today on our show. But we want to remember so many who have sacrificed so much to make this country the beacon of freedom and diversity that it is today.
February is not merely a time to put an either poster on a bulletin board, go to a theme party,
or commemorate a speech in history. Rather, it's a time to recognize a part of our society that we could not be whole without. We want to thank you for joining our show today, and we'll see you again on tomorrow, 3 p.m. at CBS. Thank you to my lovely panel of guests. Let's give them a hand again. All right. One of the slaves that flee to the north. Let's give her a hand. And the Moses of our people, Miss Harriet Tubman. All right, 3, 2, 1, blast off. We're going to blast off with Mae Jemison. Let's give her a hand. All right, and we have Mr. Peanut here. E.J. Porter. You make some really good peanut butter. All right, and we have the inventor of the peanut butter, Mr. George Washington Carver.
I have two things to say. My name, which is Kamara Porter, and he really did make some good peanut butter.
He really did. Let's give it up for the peanut butter. All right, we have Norris Hill Hurst, played by
Kiara Johnson.
Kiara Johnson. And come around to the front if I have a seat. The mother of the Civil Rights Movement was played by.
Get it!
All right.
And one of the passengers on the bus was played by.
Nyla Bryant.
And that Mr. Police Officer that told Rosa to move to the back of the bus is played by. All right, and Miss Bessie Coleman just flying in was played by.
Ebony Adams.
The Man Who Had a Dream is played. Dr. Martin Luther King is played by. Chris Adams. First African American elected into U.S. Congress was played by.
Anaya Baskerville.
All right, and again, oh, I'm sorry. Miss Oprah Winfrey was played by Yvonne Adams. Again, let's give our special panel guest a hand. Thank you so much.
Mimi was here.
We'd like to give a hand to Miss Gwen Fleming for introducing us to this program and having us here. So yay! And such a wonderful show. We're so pleased to have you over here.
So, and we would like to have you come over again sometime. This was wonderful. Thank you for coming out. You guys are doing wonderful things with the children. I'm so pleased. And this is the beginning of a good relationship. I think so. All right. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you.